Welcome back to We the Governed, and this is really part 3 in a series of an interview with Brian Heywood that I've been doing, and we've been talking about the initiatives in Washington State here for 2023. And today we're going to be talking about what you can do if you've got some time on your hands, you're interested in making a difference, making an impact on this project. And so Brian, I know one big thing that made this year very different is that you're also, Let's Go Washington is basically had a company set up so that you can hire people who have the time to do more than just volunteer, but actually spend a lot of extra time out there collecting signatures. And why don't you talk about how people can get involved in that and find out what they can do?
So the first place to go to is letsgowa.com. We've got a place there you can just click and it'll send you through if you're interested in working for us. But let me take a step back, because what we found last year, we tried to do all volunteer.
Right.
And I don't know how to express enough gratitude for the volunteers that showed up. We probably had over 1,000 volunteers around the state that were collecting, but it wasn't quite enough to get us to where we needed to be.
Right.
So this year we decided, let's go ahead and let's change our format, and let's go. Let's offer people a full-time job. We're paying between $18 and $20 an hour, depending on the kind of experience and productivity, to come and help us collect signatures on a daily basis. And I'm looking to hire up to 200 people. We want to have, and they'll be doing a couple of things, maybe three sorts of events. One would be, for example, we had paid signature gatherers at the All-Star game just this last week, and we'll have them at the fairs, etc. So during big events, we'll have a table or a booth or a tent or something, and we'll have people there gathering signatures.
Right.
Secondly, we'll have people at semi-permanent locations perhaps in front of a Walmart or some big box store where there's high traffic. We'll have someone out there, and you may be gathering signatures that way. And a third way is that we found actually some people are really effective at going door to door. And so knocking on doors, there's been a high receptivity to these. When people hear about them, they're frustrated with the high gas prices. They're afraid of looming increase in taxes. They don't like that they're that they're going to have to pay, that they're paying more at the pump. They're worried about public safety. These issues resonate with people.
Right.
And so we'll have a group that will be knocking on doors and gathering signatures that way. And so those will be the three major sort of efforts that people would be involved in. And we've got volunteers doing it as well that just feel compelled to do the cause. And you can both apply for a job and also understand where you can lift where you stand, if you will, right?
Sure. What I think the way I've tried to describe this, because I've been just telling more people about this is really what you want to do, is get out here. If you don't know what else to do, come out, help collect signatures, try to make an impact. If you can only do it part-time, a little bit here and there, you don't want to be necessarily tied down to how you're collecting signatures, then do it as a volunteer, because we desperately need that. It helps a lot. We figure we still get a tremendous number of signatures that way. But if you want to go out and actually spend the rest of summer and the fall out here, really make a difference, kind of putting this over the finish line, then sign up at the Let's Go WA and get a job with making a difference and making an impact. Not too many things you can do that you actually get paid to do the right thing.
And it's one of the things that's been really interesting, the response that we've got from people, both the volunteers and those that are paid, is that typically this sort of job involved in the political world is working with a specific candidate for a specific party.
Right.
And this is not a partisan issue.
Right.
It's something that reaches across all lines. You're not selling something that people hate.
Right.
You're giving them an opportunity to be involved in the democratic process here and make their voice heard. And that's unique. There's not that many opportunities for the average citizen to get involved. And so sometimes when you go around and get people just to sign the signature, they feel like they've now done something that was valuable.
Right.
And so there's this sort of small unintended reward that we didn't think about when we started doing this that's out there. And it's very rewarding for the people that are gathering the signatures as well.
And I know one thing I've heard you say before that I really like, this idea that one way or another, in light of the current executive leadership that we've had in Washington State for far too long, and the type of legislative leadership, if I can call it leadership, in Olympia that we've had, there needs to be an outlet or an ability for those of us who want a smaller, more limited government, more rational government. We believe in math, things like that, radical ideas like that. That this gives us a path that that we can correct the excesses or problems.
Right.
And we need to have this program set up, and that's what I think Let's Go Washington's been so great about doing.
Well, and it's rewarding. It's sort of sad that we have to, but I think that there was a genius in the Washington forefathers, the Washington State forefathers, who designed our Constitution with a mechanism that said there may come a time when the party in power is so entrenched that they ignore the voices or the dissatisfaction of their own party. And I think that they rightly anticipated right now. There are things and laws that have been passed over the last couple of years that sort of go beyond party lines in making parents upset or taxpayers not happy with what's going on. And there's this mechanism of an initiative to the legislature, and we've got to gather the signatures, that allows people to have a voice, and there's two parts to it. One is you sign the initiative that says, yes, this is important to me.
Right.
And the second is then you'll get a chance to vote on it. Either it'll go to the legislature and they can vote on it.
Right.
And you will have enacted law because you signed this.
Right.
Or you get another chance to vote on it next year when it goes on the ballot.
Right. Well, that's great. Brian, thank you again so much for coming to the studio. I really appreciate you coming in and talking about this for our listeners. And if you want to learn more, you want to get more involved, go to Let's Go Washington and check it out there. You can sign up if you want to take a lot of time and go out and collect a lot of signatures, or it'll tell you how to get involved as a volunteer. I always say when you want to make a difference, you got to get involved because the future belongs to those who show up.